So I'm here with Marylee Sachs, Head of Marketing Communications at Hill & Knowlton. You must be super pleased to be here because, one, you've brought Biz Stone from Twitter, who's going to be doing a session later on this afternoon, and PR, after 56 years, is finally being recognised by the International Advertising Festival.
It's about time, too. I think it's a big turning year for PR. We're pleased, Sponge, to have Biz Stone here. I think there's been so much chat and word of mouth going around about Twitter, and if you're on Twitter, as I am, you've become totally addicted to it. So it's great to be able to host Biz here and to have everybody be able to ask him questions by Twitter, of course. And it's been fantastic experience judging here in our first year. I think we've taken it very seriously as a jury because obviously we're setting the standard for future years to come. But it's been a fascinating experience.
So with the explosion of social networking, the internet in general, how is PR embracing and adapting to, new technologies?
Well, it's changing the face of our business, frankly, and the work that we judged, every single piece had a digital element, some more extensive than others, but it is really become a part of the fabric of how we do public relations.
So, Hill & Knowlton, you've obviously got it down. I mean, we met over Twitter, actually, and that's how we managed to set up these interviews. How far are, PR companies really embracing digital? Are we just touching the tip of the iceberg, or is there a lot of work to be done?
I think we are touching the tip of the iceberg, and it's been very interesting to see how the cases have tapped into digital. In some cases, it's been at a fairly kind of basic level in terms of the blogosphere. In other cases, there's been more pervasive use of digital in terms of engaging with consumers and other key influencers. But I would say that it's impossible for me to say where the business is going to go because, of course, nobody can predict what the next version of Web 3.0 is going to look like and how we as a marketing discipline are going to tap into that.
So I've seen you talk a lot about transparency and authenticity and that being really, really, a necessary part of, outreaching to, consumers, B2B, etc. What kind of tips would you have for brands in order to, brace online?
Well, certainly I can tell you that there were certain cases in the judging process that were not transparent, and they got knocked out immediately on that basis. We've really got no room in the discipline or in the profession for hoaxes and fake campaigns. So we're very, very serious about being true to our discipline, being transparent, being authentic, speaking with an authentic voice. So I'd say that's absolutely critical going forward.
And how are relationships with journalists, with the press? There's a lot of them on board now on Twitter, and they can pick up sound bites, they can pick up bits of news, often before the traditional wheels get in motion from a PR perspective. So how are relationships changing?
I think relationships are still fairly much the same. We've always been very open with journalists, and equally online we're open as well. It is a more fluid relationship now because it's more immediate, and it is more two-way flow of information and engagement than it has been in the past. And I think we think more about the actual journalist versus the newspaper or the medium, because so many journalists are they may be, a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, but equally they have their own blog and they're on Twitter and they're doing other things. So we think more about the individual now probably than we have done before.
Marylee, thanks very much for talking to us, and we really are looking forward to the Hill & Knowlton sponsored session with Biz Stone later on this afternoon.
Fabulous.